cold out there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you. As the sun rises and the morning mist settles and the flags fly high above Rachana Lodge, one can only contemplate how something so beautiful could have been created and kept such a secret for so long. You see, when my vendors migrated from their beautiful home country of Ireland all those years ago, they bought this very parcel of land. A parcel of land of over 29 hectares of succulent country landscape to build their very own family oasis. And today, this very property stands the benchmark for South Australian rural property here, offering the perfect blend of commercial financial return plus executive design and craftsmanship. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're here purchasing a property for yourself, your family, or just here looking at getting into that special business venture, we wish you every success here this afternoon. By way of introduction, firstly, I will still introduce Mr. Christopher Weston. He's not here today. We do have a representative, but he's been looking after the marketing of the property over the last 3 to 4 weeks. My name is Michael Fenn, and together we represent Rain and Horner Oakbank, the proudest members of the Society of Auctioneers and Appraisers and the Real Estate Institute of South Australia, and we have the utmost privilege to be your auction team here today. Today's format, well, it is going to be very straightforward. Firstly, we're going to pace you through the contract and the terms and conditions we sell. Secondly, we're going to revisit the property one last time before answering any last-minute questions you may have. And then thirdly, we're going to get straight into that exciting part, which is, of course, your competitive bidding. So, ladies and gentlemen, to the contract we go, the property. Our vendors are proud to offer you this beautiful complete package known as Rachana Lodge here in Itchunga. A creative allotment with 2 street frontages and all the necessities included to run this beautiful farmland. The property is formally known as Lot 136 in the file plan 5398 in the 100 of Kaipo, and being the whole of the land in the Certificate of Title Registered Book Volume 5297, Folio 924. Ladies and gentlemen, attached to the contract is a commercial agreement between our current owners and Gourmet Proprietary Limited as the processors of the broiler farm. All particulars relating to this agreement has been on display for your viewing and attached to the contract marked Annexure A. Ladies and gentlemen, included in the sale here today are all fixtures and fittings within the dwelling, together with all fixed plant and equipment on the farm. Excluded a normal vendor's personal effects and furniture, and it also excludes the Gourmet Poultry's equipment necessary to operate the broiler farm, and they are all itemised attached to the contract marked Annexure B. Ladies and gentlemen, standard auction conditions do apply here today. There is no GST applicable to the sale, so you're purchasing exactly as is. Secondly, we are after a 10% deposit upon the fall of the hammer, whether it is by cheque or cash. And thirdly, settlement. Well, the remainder will be due at settlement, which hasn't been set down. It has been left open to the lucky and successful purchaser for a period from 30 to 120 days at your discretion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, under the new real estate legislation provisos, I am required to confirm that all registered bidders have received the following documentation: the R3, the buyer's information notice; the R4, the bidder's guide; and of course that wonderful R5 document in relation to collusive practices. And I furthermore state that the property is being offered to you subject to a vendor's reserve price. In order to bid, you must be registered and having allocated an identification number and show it as you bid. As auctioneer, I may make a bid on behalf of the vendor, but not such more than 3 such bids, up to but not including the reserve price. When the bid reaches and exceeds the reserve price, I'm going to clearly call the property 3 times before announcing the property is sold, and no further bids will be taken. I, as the auctioneer, have the right to sign a contract on behalf of the vendor, the purchaser, or both in the breach of any of those terms and conditions of auction. If you are the successful purchaser, please arrange the appropriate insurance cover notes to protect your equitable interests in the property. Finally, calling off rights, pretty straightforward. They don't apply here for any person who bids on the day of auction, whether in person, proxy or representative. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the terms and conditions of sale. That's the contract. Do we have any last minute concerns or questions at this stage? Yes.
My beautiful and somewhat precocious daughter has very, very valuable horses. And we obviously need irrigated pasture for these horses. Now, your brochure that you produced states that this water on the property is 1,000 parts per million. Now, I'll be down this morning to the Department of Mines and Energy to check this because I don't like auctioneers very much. And they tell me that the water is in fact 1,950 parts per million. Now, I put it to you that your conduct in producing this brochure is both misleading and deceptive, and that you and your company are liable.
Sorry, your name was, sir? Mr. Redden? Thank you, sir. Look, that's fantastic. You've actually made your own inquiry. Look, the brochure is there just as a representation. Chris isn't actually here today, so I'm sorry if there wasn't error. I'm actually glad that you've gone to the council. What I would suggest, sir, I hope you got that in writing. Just make sure that that is correct, and if that's the code, bid under them circumstances. But that brochure is just a representation for you, sir. It could be incorrect. But I'll tell you what, the horses will probably drink a lot of water at that stage. Hope that helps you out, sir. Thank you, Mr. Redmond. Any other questions?
Mr. Auctioneer,